Hey guys, Simon and Levi here from Three Dragons Sports Bar in Hoi An, bringing you the NRL tips for the final round of the year, round number 27.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracking round, I think. Still quite a few things to be decided.
Yeah.
Last round was strange.
It's always the way, a couple of teams, needing the wins, but then, the big occasion getting to them and, a couple of average performances from teams that were trying to get in, namely the Broncos and the Dragons. But anyway.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Plenty of injuries have come out of a couple of the games as well. So, that's where coming into this round, resting players if you can, especially if some of your stars are going to be kind of, really important.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. All right, so moving on. First game, Thursday night, Broncos at home to the Storm.
Yeah, Broncos well and truly done with their race 48.
Their season's done. Even though Kevy said we can still get in. No, it's done now. With the Knights winning, it's going to be a shootout between the Knights and the Dolphins. Straight shootout.
I think there was one weird scenario where the Raiders could, in theory, make it in.
Yeah, but
I think so. It doesn't. There's a lot of
Dolphins Knights. They've got a better percentage if they make it. Basically, the winner of that makes it through.
Correct. Yeah, I thought I looked at it and it's very unlikely, but mathematically, I think the Raiders are the only other team that's still alive.
If the Knights and the Dolphins have a draw at the end, after overtime, and still come out with a draw, 1 point each, and then the Raiders, it's up to them. So, but I think that's mainly the only scenario. Anyway, Storm, Broncos. It would be interesting to see who's rested from the Storm. I would expect them to rest some players again.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think it makes sense. Obviously, Papa, I think, is going to be out. Wouldn't surprise me if Munster misses this game, but then Hughes comes back, and so
I think so. I think most of the guys that got rested last week will be back in.
Yeah.
And then they'll basically rotate through a bit and give some other guys a run.
I think you don't want to risk Munster. I think he's they want him there. So the Broncos, they've had some injuries. Stags got a thigh injury and some concussions going on. So look, it was a
pretty
average performance. It was the main thing with that game is that they turned the ball over at key times, and it was down to a few moments where especially their second rowers both near the try line dropped ball, and then basically off the next, literally off one play and that play, the opposition score. So it's just errors at key moments. Just
gonna kill you.
Yeah. I've got a lot to say about the Broncos. I'll leave that to another video. They've got
do a season review at some point.
So I think, it'll be interesting this game. With the attitude and the way the Broncos have been playing, I can't see them winning.
No, I think Storm B team gets it done.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what Kevy does with the team this week. He doesn't have a lot of people who are fit to come in and replace some guys, but I think he needs to just suck it up and give a few people a rest for this game and just go, wasn't good enough. And so anyway, we'll move on to the next game. Friday night, Tigers at home to the Eels.
Yeah.
The Spoon Bowl.
Is that the Spoon Bowl now?
It is the Spoon Bowl.
Wonderful.
It's going to be one of the biggest games of the rounds. The Spoon Bowl. Tigers Eels. No one wants it. Tigers have had it the last couple of years. They're going to be desperate. The Eels are.
Leaking points, but getting just enough and down the other.
I think the Tigers. I'm backing the Tigers to get this one and leave the Eels down the bottom.
I reckon that might be another shootout. Both teams are very sus, defensively, and both teams got plenty of points in them. I reckon this one's going to be another one where both teams I don't think it will be
50 plus. Yeah.
I don't think it will be
very
44,
defensive.
40, but I reckon it'll be like 32, 30,
50
something
plus,
like that.
Something like that.
But I'm not sure who's going to win the shootout. Where they're playing? Campbelltown.
Not the Tigers' best ground.
I reckon Eels. I reckon Eels got a few more tries in them than the Tigers.
You'd think that they're the slightly better quality team this year, but who knows?
And then second game on the Friday, Bunnies Roosters.
Roosters missing a lot of players now. Sam Walker gone for the season. Brandon Smith for the season. Radley potentially. Man, that's devastating.
They got decimated.
That's a big blow to their finals chances because they're three.
Yeah,
I mean, crucial players.
I reckon they're in trouble.
Whether they move Manu to 5'8" or Sandon Smith, it'll be interesting to see which way they go. They've got the depth. Roosters actually do have the depth to get a good win.
Yeah,
they'll beat the Rabbitohs.
Oh yeah, in that game,
even without those guys.
But then I'm worried.
But
for them
can they
for
push
finals.
for the finals?
I'm worried for them for finals without Walker there. Walker's been excellent. He's been
best player.
Yeah,
he's been their best player all year.
Yeah.
His one off his boot is his
kicking game has been amazing. So without him there, I don't know.
They still win this game easy.
Yeah, they'll beat the Bunnies.
Yeah.
Then after that, it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tough.
Devastating.
Yeah, that was tough. But I mean, the Walker one was just kind of I don't know. That was just a freak little accident.
ACLs, I think it kind of happens. But then the hip drop on Brandon.
That one was nasty.
Bit nasty. That was a bit, definitely silly.
Robert Every had a nice little blow up after.
Yeah.
But that's unfortunate for the Roosters. But they should get a comfortable win over the Bunnies. Bunnies are Bunnies.
Saturday first game. Dragons at home to the Raiders. Dragons got nothing to play for basically now.
They're stuffed up.
So I think with the Raiders, this game will be interesting again because we'll see what some of the Dragons are made of. Like Flano definitely got stuck into Hunt. It was on the cameras and would have had a blast to the team. So it's interesting, like with the team going forward. I know he's trying to with the second year in next year, he's going to be making some changes, getting the team the way he wants it. It'll be interesting to see how Hunt rebounds after that spray and how the rest of the team bounce back because they're at home. They should turn up. They should give it their best. But we'll see. Some attitudes of some of the players.
Oh, I mean, the Raiders been good. The Raiders, I mean, beat Penrith, beat the Roosters.
Yeah, they're going to be without...
Left it a bit light for their little run.
Yeah, they're going to be without, Whitehead. But anyway, I
reckon Raiders. I reckon the Dragons kind of ran out of path. They had it in their own hands. They were basically in. All they need to do is just turn up.
Yeah,
and they didn't. And it wasn't even the loss last week. It was the loss the week before.
Yeah. I mean, Hunt, has been really good. You can't just put it all on Hunt. I mean, he's copped the spray and stuff like that, and as captain, they're going to take a bit more extra responsibility. There's not many other people turning up, like Jaden Stewart's still playing amazing. They just lack some of that,
maybe also ran out of path a bit. The way they're playing is so physical.
Yeah.
So that's so hard. We talked about that before. To keep that up week in, week
4 weeks in a row. You can.
You get a bit
if you're going to play that power game. Yeah. And their forwards, their middle forwards have kind of haven't been able to hold through the year. I think so. I'm going to tip the Raiders to get a win here and keep their mathematical chance alive.
Then second game on the Saturday. That one's a big one. Bulldogs hosting the Cowboys at Acre.
Is Crichton still out? Did he get 2 weeks or 1 week?
No, Crichton got 1 week. So Crichton will be back. But Burton is out with HIA, so no Burton. Bronson Sherry got a 1 week suspension for a hip drop. Wasn't much in it, but it's fair enough. So no Sherry, no Burton. The rest should pretty much be fit. But yeah, we definitely push. There wasn't. I mean, no need to panic. Like Manly played probably one of their better games of the year.
Yeah, I kind of saw that coming. I think Manly, with their spine, just had slightly better quality.
It's mainly through the middle.
But
through the middle.
Their forwards. I mean, that was what Manly was so good at the beginning of the year. Were their forwards and their bench forwards, namely Nathan Brown.
Brown was amazing.
He had so much. He adds that aggression. It's what the Broncos need is a Brown. I mean, that's what every team needs is someone like that.
But it was definitely like watching the game. Like basically scored in the first set, and then after that, just kind of got pummeled through the middle.
They're not just. They've got some big guys there. Manly do have a couple of really big guys, but they're not all big. They've got some small forwards there, so they've got some engine and some, and they were just.
I mean, you could see the Bulldogs. You could see
a bit flat,
bit tired, but like
missing their leader.
Missing Crichton.
You can't underestimate, especially when their backs up against the wall. That Crichton will bring out the best in that team.
And to be honest,
that was
missing Kurt Mann as well.
That was the first time all year that you. Gone for more than 30 points.
Correct, yeah.
So, your defence has been, even in losses, has been resolute, and it just went to rubbish. That game. So,
I mean, to be honest, I saw a lot of people back the team after the game and go, "Oh, we're done," and this and that, and it's like they were still in the game up until towards the end. They were still fighting back. There was still effort there, and.
You can't just put one performance and go, you're written off.
To be honest, it was one game where we made a lot of mistakes. We looked a bit flat. Manly capitalized on pretty much all our mistakes.
Yep.
And then they had a few, one or two, where bounce up the ball goes their way and they score. There's a lot of little things that went wrong, and no need to panic. We had a good run, and we're going to make the 8 no matter what. This game kind of decides more likely than not if we get a home ground or not.
Cows are looking solid. They're kind of still a bit hot and cold over the year. I think that the Cows.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be a tough game. No Burton. I'm going to tip the Cowboys just again off their spine. I think Reece Robson. And Drinkwater, I think, look out for those two players. So I'm going to tip super close game. Leaning towards Cows, but it's a 50-50 on this one.
I'm backing the Bulldogs to kind of tidy up their act a bit and put in a bit better performance and get ready for a home final, which is going to be massive. I mean, the Manly game was an incredible crowd for a 6 o'clock kickoff. It's massive.
There are two teams in the 8. When they're in the 8, their supporters turn up. So it was great to see. And final game on Saturday, we've got Panthers at home to the Titans.
Yeah, I mean...
Can't really tip the Titans. Panthers, Luai, doing well. I think they need to have their best team out there. They're still going for there's positions in that top 4 to be had.
I think now with Roosters losing and whatnot, they should pretty much finish second, which gives them a home final.
Yeah.
And then we'll see, come finals, we'll see. Depends a bit what happens with Cleary. I think for them to go another one all the way, I think they need Cleary there, just as the X factor. They might have the team to do it without him, but maybe. I think it's going to be tough. Maybe. And there's a couple of other teams who look really good.
I wouldn't put it past the Panthers, man. They're
a unit.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay, then we are going to go on to first game on Sunday. Seagulls at home to the Sharks. Great game.
Good game, yeah. That one, that's basically both teams fighting to get a home final depending on the results. But I think the Sharks, in theory, could still jump all the way up to second with a win if some of the other results go their way.
So Sharks had a close loss to the Warriors, it was a little bit un-Sharks-like, that game as well. Sharks look amazing in certain patches of the game, but then they can have little moments where they just kind of fall asleep a little bit. Seagulls, they're going to be missing Turbo, cut on head, but AC, so a bit of a shoulder. That could be a couple of weeks. That's pretty devastating, but it looks like, they got Kohler and they got Hopewade there, so definitely not the same team, like confidence-wise without Turbo there, but then they do have players who can fill that position. So, it'll be interesting.
This one is actually, if you look at that, that's like two teams who just like to run straight through the front door with big guys. And if both of them play that, that's going to be
and they got quick backs to back that up.
That's going to be a really interesting physical battle. I reckon that's going to be like basically.
That's fine. This is like knockout. This is knockout final sort of game. This one, I think. Both of them will hopefully come away with not a lot of injuries. This one could be like a pretty impactful game though, and this is where you've got to worry about look at injuries a little bit as well.
But that could actually be, to be honest, that could be depending how results go, because that's like on a Sunday game. So depending how the results fall early in the weekend,
could be a nothing game.
Could be a nothing game, and people might be rested. Yeah. So that's one to kind of keep an eye on.
I'd probably be hoping for that, and go, okay, well, let's just
nothing to play for.
Position, guys. Let's take it out at 80% this game and get everyone through, please.
It's possible.
I'm going to tip the Seagulls at home. Slight advantage.
At Brookie, I don't mind the Seagulls. They were impressive against the Bulldogs, and I reckon they might be able to back that up.
Yeah. Okay, and then
finishing things off, massive.
Yep. Who writes these? And it's worked out perfectly. Last game of the season for 8th place. Straight out shootout, Knights, Dolphins. Both coming off wins. Dolphins looked impressive after making some positional shifts, which has sparked them. It'll be interesting to see whether they keep those with like Cody Nikorima looking at coming back. It's hard to keep him out of a team, but how can you drop someone who's the team that's winning,
The thing is with the Dolphins win over the Broncos, it's like the Broncos been making other teams look pretty good. That's kind of, you look at it and go, oh yeah, the Dolphins are back, and like, oh, they're amazing and whatnot. But then you look at it and go, well, he kind of was against the Broncos, which Battle of Brisbane, still fighting for the 8, but the Broncos didn't necessarily turn up. And the Dolphins,
but they did. The Dolphins turned up, and
the Dolphins definitely turned up.
Like the Broncos were there. Like the first set wasn't great, but they were there in the first 10 minutes. They were there, but then the Dolphins just kind of had that extra gear. Herbie running the line hard. I think having Herbie and Hammer
and
as two centers.
Marshall King back.
Huge.
Marshall King back is huge.
Plath back to 13. Plath is an amazing 13. So, that brings him back into his position. But having two amazing centres there, Trey Fuller, the amount of line breaks he's creating, as good as Hammer is, he can go in and out of a game. But Trey was just like, he just is there every moment and tackle busts just for a small guy, brings that energy, I think having Avarillo there in 6 and
he looked good.
They just brought energy, and it brought the centres alive and the rest of the team kind of off the back of that. So
the Dolphins definitely needed to mix it up after a really rough stretch with a lot of losses. So
Knights have been better towards the back end of the season than the Dolphins. The Dolphins hot, cold, actually pretty cold, and just getting enough wins to get in this position. Right, Knights have been on the way up off the back of
Bonga
KP. People are talking. Is it a
one trick
pony? Gay guy's amazing. He's been doing well, and support from their young winger as well. Fletcher Sharp there. So. It's will be a good game. Whoever turns up with the best attitude, I actually think the Knights will win this game. Down there in Newcastle, and you know, the Bennett factor will be talked about all week. How good he was, you know, in our, you know, coaching Kevy, but that can sometimes go the wrong way. And over the last 2 months, they've shown to be inconsistent. Whether Bennett can get the team up again and get enough distraction going on to let his players do the playing. I think that the Dolphins have the more rounded team and probably the better team. So I think the Dolphins should win this game.
Yeah, but in Newcastle.
But I just have a feeling that the Knights are going to come out and make a statement. And
I mean, also for the Dolphins, no Kafusi, most likely.
Yeah, he's gone.
So
no games.
So no Kafusi.
He's a tough, hard man for them.
He's a hard guy.
Hit man.
Yeah. So no Kafusi.
The Dolphins have been dodgy over the last couple of months, and I think that, you know, Bennett's got his win over Kevy.
Yeah.
And you know, knock the Broncos out. Like, I think Bennett's going to go, you know, sail off to the south and. I
mean, to be honest, like I reckon he's definitely going to put his effort into
This is a prime Bennett, you know, moment. But. Yeah.
I reckon Old Man Gecko might play spoiler. I mean, Bradman Best. Like, the Knights got some big game players. And I think they got a bit more experience
and a strong forward pack when they turn up.
Turn up, yeah. No, I reckon Knights at home in Newcastle. Unfortunately, which means Bulldogs might have to play the Knights week 1. Should be alright, but we'll see. Be interesting.
All right, there's the last round of our tips. Good luck with yours.
We'll see you for finals next week.
Good luck.